Hi, it's Olson with Obsolete Automotive. I'm out here in California with my new 58 Plymouth Plaza. Before we get started doing a bunch of stuff that it needs to drive 3,000 plus miles, we'll take a quick look at the car. The Plaza was the cheapest model available for Plymouth in 1958, and this one is equipped with a Flathead 6. Power Flow 6 is what they called it. It's 230 cubic inch. It's kind of dark in here, so let's get some light on the subject. The previous owner added this Weber carburetor on here. It originally would have had a 1-barrel Carter carburetor. And they have added this GM alternator as well. The interesting thing to note is this 58 Plymouth has power steering. I have never seen a Flathead 6 power steering car before. So this has to be pretty rare. You can see it has a special bracket there. Big cast bracket, which looks like somebody really modified to get this alternator to work, but whatever. But the generator would have originally mounted down there where the power steering pump is, so I'm guessing that with this power steering, the generator would have mounted up here. The engine is painted red or orange, so I'm hoping that means that it was actually rebuilt, or at least gone through of some sort. And normally on your aerosol overhauls, they don't bother to tape off anything. And as you can see, everything's nice and painted. The starter's black, the oil filter canister and everything is black and the right colors. There's no overspray on the spark plug wires. This car is kind of hard to start when it's cold, and that's because the choke on this Weber is not hooked up, so probably try to remedy that. And it does have this electric fuel pump. They've bypassed the original mechanical pump down there, so hopefully that can keep working. I do have another electric fuel pump just in case. And this car is still, like I said, an odd one because it has a lot of options you wouldn't normally find on a Plaza. So it has a windshield washer as well, which is kind of odd. Like I said, it's already odd that it has power steering. It also has stone guards, which was optional. You see the Plaza badging. And on the Plazas, this taillight assembly is steel and it's painted silver. On the Savoy, Belvedere, and Fury, it's actually aluminum. And the main way you can tell a difference is on the higher trim levels, this has got kind of like a scallop pattern on it. And this has, I guess it used to have a backup light too. The wires hanging there, which is also something you didn't really ever see on Plazas. It's in pretty good shape. Really, the only rust is a couple little spots on one of the doors here. Those are the original door panels. The seats have been redone, but they're kind of close to the original design. And the original rubber floor mats have been replaced with carpet. Since this car has power steering, it has the deluxe wheel with the power steering insert. I need to fix that. And it's equipped with a PowerFly 2-speed automatic. We don't have a radio, but we do have a cigar lighter. And there is a cigarette in there still. That's where a clock would have been if it was optioned with a clock. Has 99,977 miles on the odometer. And for some reason the mirror is laying on the seat. It's supposed to go there. But these are known to kind of sag and stuff, so I'm guessing that it maybe was loose and they just took it off. Maybe. I think this is more of a two-handed operation. Oh yeah, it doesn't. I guess that's why they took it off. It don't stay up, so I need to find this. Probably, I didn't really look before I put that on there, but there's normally a plastic bushing inside there that holds this steady. Oh, and this is actually a day-night mirror too. The toggle would have meant there. So this is, like I said, an oddly optioned car for being the cheapest model. Over here we have our headlights. This is your wiper switch. Oh, it has variable speed wipers too. If it was one speed, it would have been one click, but you can see it clicks on and then you can rotate it. So that means it's variable speed, so that was optional. And this here's your blower switch for your heater fan, and this your heater control. You slide that over for warmer. It says right there, warmer. Interior is not so bad. Headliner is pretty bad, especially when you see things like that. That's one of my favorites, the mouse nest in the headliner. And not only is there that one, but there is this one on the driver's side. I might just go ahead and rip the headliner out before I attempt to drive this car, because it is the worst thing ever to be driving down the road with the windows down and the headliner lets loose and dumps rat carcasses, rat poop, dust, insulation, and fabric, and whatever else all over your face and blinds you and you can't see. Down here they've added a aftermarket temperature gauge, which I guess that's not the worst thing. Oil light does work, and surprisingly the gas gauge works. The oil light goes off, so that's a good thing. The engine seems to run really good. There's supposed to be a valence panel there, but I guess somebody absconded with that at some point. There's no smoke, no crazy noises, and when I moved the car, after it sat here for a couple months, there was no big puddles under it, so that's always a good sign. Have to get a meter and see if that alternator's actually putting out a charge. If so, I'll probably just leave it because it'll get me home. Let me turn this off so we can hear. Check out the Remington brand wide white wall tires. Fun fact, supposedly this is what they use on Christine in the movie Christine. This is a add-on mirror, which is pretty well pitted. Fender ornaments here on the Plaza was different from the rest of the models. There's just one stamped piece here. On the Savoy, Belvedere, and Fury, it was a cast piece that had a point here. Here's the body tag. This car was built in Los Angeles, and looks like maybe February 4th, 1958. Paint code XBB. B is blue, so maybe I'll guess that X is white, but I don't know off the top of my head. So this is Blue Bonnet Blue, which appears to be the original color. The trim is off the back glass, and somebody made a gasket for the top portion. So hopefully this doesn't just blow out while I'm going down the road, because it's not the most secure. There is some rust down here, which is very typical of all these 57 and 59 Plymouths. So I'll probably just put some goop in there just to get me home, and then eventually fix it with metal and a welder like you're supposed to. In the trunk here, I got all the stuff that I brought with me. Got all kinds of parts, down to a new head gasket and various things. There's the spare. There wasn't a bumper jack in here, but there is a bottle jack right there. So we'll see if that works. There's the original hubcaps, which are the deluxe wheel covers, which is not common to find on Plazas either, but its car has them. And there's the back windshield or window trim, and a bunch of tools that I brought. The trunk seal is in good shape, and it appears the underside of the deck lid was undercoated. I don't think that's factory. At least I've never seen one like this. Generally they'll be like gray or greenish gray color, just painted. And there is a trunk floor, which is hard to find in these cars, and the floors are in good shape. You don't really get to see these cheap model, low trim level cars much anymore, because people like to make them parts cars, but this car is too good to be a parts car. So I'm going to get this thing hopefully up and running, and I hope that it'll be able to make it all the way home to North Carolina. While I'm here, I'm going to check the headlights. Pretty sure some are burnt out. Yep, pretty sure those two are bad. Let's look at the back lights. That one works. That one works too, so. How about high beams? Push the floor switch there. Pretty sure the ones on the driver's side are totally dead. Oh yeah. So I'll go out in the junkyard and see if I can find some replacements for those. All right, well, that's a quick walk around, and I'm not really an in-depth, but kind of good showing of this 58 Plymouth Plaza, just so you know what I got and what I've got to work with and what I need to do. So first step, brakes. So I'm gonna also probably convert it to a dual master cylinder, because that looks relatively new, but I really don't want my brakes to fail going down the grapevine or something like that. Going to see about getting a new power steering pressure hose made, because I don't want that to explode. I've seen it happen more than once, so I always replace them. Really, brakes, that pressure hose, getting that carburetor sorted out, as well as maybe doing something with this hose here that is mashed against this bracket, because that could probably be a problem. They cut and welded this bracket for this alternator, so maybe I can rotate this or something as well. Maybe I can get a piece of flex hose or something that clears that a little better. I guess if push comes to shove and I'm running out of time, I'll just maybe cut a piece of rubber to wrap around the bracket so it interferes a little less. Maybe I can find a bracket that's better out in the junkyard. Also, we'll probably replace the lawnmower fuel filter with a new one. The rat chewed spark plug wires seem to be working. I guess I should have brought some new spark plug wires, but maybe these will get me there. So I just need to get home. I can work out the other things later. Oh, I just noticed it looks like it's got new exhaust down there. Right there where it clamps on. So that's good. Anyways, I guess the next video you'll see on this car is probably some brake work and some power steering lines and stuff like that. And I did bring some new white wall tires to slap on because I don't really trust these 1980 era tires. So with that being said, probably time to get to work because I only have a few days to work on this car and then I got to hit the road. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the quick video of 58 Plymouth, which I haven't named yet. No, it's not going to be Christine. And I guess we'll have to get to work on it. Maybe tighten that up too so I don't lose that. I also need to register this car and stuff and then make it all legal. Anyways, got a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna get to it and I'll try to get these videos out relatively quickly, but got a lot to do and not a lot of time. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, see you on the next one. Seems questionable. It's really stiff.
See if that's good enough. Cotter pin. Be in the dirt.
I like it in the dirt.
Mechanics do it in the dirt.
Range.
Somebody's got too tight on there, huh?
Guess I'll swap to rubber gloves. Well, it is, but it made it turn.
Okay.
that way so don't get a bunch of dirt on it. Just cut it like that. Yes. Those shoes are definitely contaminated.
Yeah. Got a leaky cylinder. Grease on the spindles.
Let me get some paper towels. Yeah, definitely some brake fluid inside the cup there. And that one's a little questionable too. The brake shoes are definitely contaminated here. They're wet, probably from brake fluid over the years. So I'll go ahead and pull all this stuff out. I brought new wheel cylinders with me, so that'll help with cleaning up and getting this thing back on the road. Just new wheel cylinders. I got one set of brake shoes, so I'm hoping that maybe I won't need to have two sets. I have enough to do the front or the back. Looks like I'm going to need the fronts redone, so hopefully the backs are still good. Alright, got all the brake components disassembled, all cleaned up. The outer bearing was actually a new one, but it looks like they didn't put new races in, and the inner bearing looks like probably the original one. So we're gonna need to knock those races out of the drum. Also found out that one of my seals that they sent is not correct. It was in the right box, but looks like it's for a transmission. It's supposed to look like this, so we'll have to probably use one of the old ones for now. Anyways, I'm going to use a punch and a hammer to knock the races out. order to get these wheel cylinders off, we're going to have to take these 4 bolts loose. There are 2 cotter pins on castle nuts on the back on 2 of them, and then we can pull this support plate out and then take the bolts off to get these wheel cylinders off. Gonna have to scrape off a lot of accumulated grease and dirt to get to the nuts. We'll also have to take this metal brake line loose and this clip so we can release the rubber hose. There's one of the nuts. There's one of the ones with the cotter pin. Then on the other side, there's another nut here, and down here is another one with a cotter pin. So we'll get those off. The metal line was rounded off, so I used ye old vice grips to get it loose.
Missing a zerk fitting on the outer tie rod. Got a hole in it, but no zerk. That's good for ingress of dirt and grease. Your best friend.
On the back side of the backing plate, there's a bolt there and there, which holds the wheel cylinders on. So we need to remove those, and then the wheel cylinders and the support plate will fall out. there you have it. Now we gotta clean the sport plate and the back end plate and everything else. Then we can put it back together with the new stuff. One of my cotter pins broke taking off those backing plate bolts, so getting me a replacement. That ought to work. All right, got both sides done, basically. New wheel cylinders, newer shoes, and now I just need to put the drums on. Drums on. Oh wow, I actually get some pretty good pedal. Getting some pretty good pedal, actually. It's down.
Still getting a good bit of air.
It's down. Rock hard pedal. While I'm doing this, I'm also cleaning the steering wheel, which is gross. Headlight shopping in the junkyard. No, it's not. Gotta get the heavy duty one out. MoPar. I think that's good. I don't know. Two headlights. Walked around this whole yard looking for two headlights, and there was some right here where I walked out. Oh well. click the high beam button. Oh, that's a bright one. All right, good to go. Been working on the 58 Plaza all day, basically. Also got it registered today in California. Fun fact, California is one of the states where you can register and tag a car even if you aren't a resident. So it works pretty good if you find a car out here that you want to drive back legally. Things that I've done, got the new tires on, got the front brakes done and bled. Got the front brakes bled. Still need to do the back brakes, but this space needs to be used tomorrow, so I have to move the car out, so I got it dropped back on the ground. Made a new bracket and hooked up a mechanical switch for the brake lights, since the original pressure switch on this master cylinder was kaput. I might swap in a dual master cylinder for safety if I got some time. It's going to require a little more engineering. I did some adjustments on the Weber carburetor. Not sure how I feel about this carburetor. I did hook up the electric choke, so hopefully now the car will start when it's cold a little bit easier. Things. What else? I've done a lot of stuff. I haven't taken a lot of footage because frankly I've been busy and I don't have a dedicated cameraman, so I got to do this all myself and just trying to get it done. I don't have a whole lot of time. Man, what else have I done? Oh, new headlights. Well, new as in pulled off the cars in the junkyard, but now I got 4 headlights. There's a few more things to do. I did discover that the driver's or passenger side rear axle seems to have a lot of play, so that might need addressing. Maybe a bearing going bad, I don't know, but I don't know if that's something I want to drive 3,000 miles on. Yes, a few other things. I'm kind of tired, so need to remember. I did fix the rearview mirror. I did note that the temperature gauge here doesn't work, so maybe I can find me a sending unit on a car out in the yard. Maybe the factory gauge will work better. Got the, like I said, the brake switch hooked up, which is up under here. And there it is. So this right here made this aluminum bracket, so when you push the pedal down, it'll actuate that mechanical switch and cut the brake lights on and off. Gets rid of that factory pressure switch. Plus, if I go with the dual master cylinder, I won't be able to use the pressure switch anyway. I also put new wiper blades on. Had to make those work by getting new wiper blades and pulling the rubber off and basically using them as refills on the original stainless ones. I'm gonna probably maybe at least pull the loose crap out of the headliner if I don't go ahead and just rip it all out. I did also, remembering as I go, I just squirted a bunch of sealer in here where there was some big rust holes, just in case it rains. That way I don't have water just dumping in the trunk, and then when I get home I can fix this proper with metal and a welder. This glass needs to come out because this is not an original gasket and you can't put the trim on. This is something somebody cut and made. This is original down here and they cut it, and I don't even know what that came off of, but I guess it kind of works. Hopefully the back glass doesn't blow out while I'm going down the road. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, new fuel filter. So with that being said, I guess I'll catch you later. This might just be a continuation of a video. I don't know. I'm just kind of taking footage as I can. It's hot, it's dirty, it's dusty, and I got a lot to do. So forgive me for not taking a lot of footage. If you want more on how to do brakes on these 57 to 59 MoPars, I got to do the brakes on my 57 Dodge Texan, so it's going to be the same. And I'll make it a little more in-depth and show you what's involved with that. just a little noisy. The maiden trip is going okay because I'm not on the side of the road, but these belts sound like they're going to die. Watch the magic happen. Instant new car. Ding, 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 ding. Fresh off the assembly line. I'm here in California. I am driving into Plymouth. It kind of sucks that the brakes had the issues because I think this car would have made it to 3,000 miles. Somebody in the past had tried removing the rear drums on this car. You got to have a puller. The whole drum and hub comes off as one piece. Instead, they cut the rivets off the hub and then pull the drum off. So it doesn't allow the drum to line up correctly, so you get some bad brake pedal bumping and bouncing because the drums are kind of off center. The brake shoes that I had brought with me that I'd ordered, the pads looked a little too thick, so the brakes drag ever so slightly, which obviously wouldn't be good for a long 3,000 mile drive. See here, you get the shake when you go to stop. The car runs great though. The motor, pretty sure it's rebuilt. You can go down the highway. The stopping part is the questionable part. So I'm going to haul this car back home because there's an empty trailer here, and I have the opportunity to get it paid for and brought home. Not what I was planning on doing, but I don't really want to play around with brakes. Driving around town was fine, but I would not want to take a long trip with shoddy brakes. So I'm going to load her up, and we'll probably hit a few Route 66 sites along the way just for fun. But I guess start heading back east. Got the Plaza all loaded up, and now it's time to head back to North Carolina. Like I said, I might hit some Route 66 stuff along the way, but I guess next time this car's gonna be on the road is the East Coast. So, time to hit the road. Back here in North Carolina with the 58 Plymouth. I'm a little bummed, like I said, that I didn't actually get to drive the car home, but I just didn't have enough time. And there was a lot of things I didn't think was going to be a problem that turned out to be a problem, mainly the brakes. And I just would have had to spend a lot of extra time and money getting stuff out there when I have everything here. So it's kind of dumb to spend a whole bunch more. And then you never know if you're actually going to make it back anyway. So might have had to get it towed anyhow. I did put the hubcaps on, so now the car looks a little more presentable, I guess. So hope you enjoyed the short video. I know it's probably not as exciting as the other ones, and in the future there'll be some more videos on this car. Maybe I'll redeem myself by taking it on a long trip somewhere, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, catch you on the next one.